Hi, I'm Kenzie and this is Culture Journey. Today, I wanted to share with you about my Portuguese language journey and any tips that I might have for you when you're learning a new language. I asked some people on Instagram and kind of just came up with some questions myself, and I thought the best way to tell you all about it is to answer the most important questions there are. So the first question is, was it easy? Was it easy? So many people want learning a language to be easy. And since I already know Spanish, a lot of you might think it was easy. And in some ways it was. And that was so much fun because when learning a language feels like fun and easy, you just want to keep doing it. But in other ways, it was frustratingly hard because it was so similar to Spanish, but yet so different. But yet I actually did have to put in work. I had to practice, I have to listen. I still don't understand the accent. It's hard for me to say it. I sound like a Spanish person speaking Portuguese. And that's okay. I'm still working on it. But I think learning every language is different compared to what you already know. They're just gonna be new things, and maybe it'll be easy, maybe it won't, but it'll be worth it. Question number 2 is, do I get confused with Spanish? That's a good question because so many people worry about that. I've known a lady that speaks Portuguese and didn't want to learn Spanish just so she didn't get confused. And some people feel that way. And even natives of Portuguese or Spanish still get confused. So obviously, I'm gonna get confused sometimes. But to me, I get confused in the languages I already know. I get confused between English and Spanish and French and whatnot. So I don't see why getting confused should stop you from learning a language. And in my opinion, it's better to be confused and multilingual than just monolingual and not be able to think of the word. It's better to think of the word in another language than not to think of it at all, if you ask me. So yeah, there are gonna be times when you get confused, but honestly, maybe I am speaking Portuñol half the time, but I think that's better than not speaking Portuguese at all. So yes. Question number 3 is, how did I learn Portuguese so fast? So already knowing Spanish helped immensely, and I think just learning how to learn a language is incredibly helpful. Like with Multilingual Matt, I don't know if y'all have seen him, but you should definitely go check him out. He learned Arabic super well in 3 months, and I'm just like, oh, what? I'm so jealous, right?
اهلا وسهلا، انا اسمي موطي لينجومان وانا من امريكا وبدرس العربي بقالي شهر ونص. انا بحبها جدا، هي طلعوا لسه ما قدرش اقول كتير. هي هتكون اللغه الاجنبيه السته اللي بتعلم بعد الاسباني والايطالي والفرنسي والبرتغالي والالماني، ولكن اعتقد انها صعب اكتر من.
But he has learned how to learn languages, and he uses his method, and he just works hard at it. And so I think just like that, for me, Portuguese, I kind of had an idea, I knew what I wanted to do, and I did it. But yes, just to me, I like jumping in day 1 trying to speak the language. Not everybody likes that, and I respect that opinion, but for me, language is all about people. So I'm gonna talk to the people, and it's gonna be horrible, and I'm gonna sound like an American or a Mexican or I don't know what, but I don't care. I want to talk to them. I want to learn from them. I just want to have relationships with people that I wouldn't be able to if I didn't speak that language. And so I think that can help me in some ways. Some people, I think they wait too long and then they get scared, or it leaves them. When a native talks to them, they just don't know what to say. So I think if you just conquer that fear from day 1, that helps. But also the way I studied Portuguese, which is my next question. What is my routine? So as y'all probably saw on my channel, but if you haven't, you can go check it out. of my month of intensive Portuguese learning. I filmed a little bit every day. The first month I was learning Portuguese, and it was so incredible to see all my progress, but I've progressed even more since then. And so the first month I was learning Portuguese, I didn't use Duolingo at all. I wrote like a page of Portuguese every day almost. I listened to stuff in Portuguese. I talked to my friends in Portuguese. Well, I started out talking to them in Spanish, and they talked to me in Portuguese. And then I just kind of switched over. But honestly, I didn't do a lot of speaking that first month, not as much as I was hoping. But I kind of just did stuff like that, and you can go back and check out what I was doing then. But I want to tell you about what I'm doing now. So now, Portuguese has kind of taken the back burner. I'm focusing on Spanish this month. I was focusing on Arabic last month. But I did start doing Duolingo in Portuguese every day, just to kind of help me learn more basic words. I don't want to leave certain vocabulary behind, and it's just a little supplement every day, which is nice. But I journal maybe every other day or every 3 days in Portuguese, so getting writing practice in. In my Bible app, I just finished a Bible plan in Portuguese. That was good. And I just have my Bible language on my phone in Portuguese most of the time, and I like to have it read to me and I follow along, and so I can hear it and see it and just keep getting used to the accent, keep letting my brain learn that. Learning pronunciation mentally is kind of hard, and some people do it really well and they understand that, but not everybody does. And so at the end of the day, if you can just get your brain to understand how it works subconsciously and your mouth to just mimic that, then that's super good. Another great way. And then last but not least, I just talk to my friends. So that's super fun, and I think that's probably some of the best practice. Maybe I'm not learning a bunch of complex stuff. I'm learning some, but just putting it into use, that goes so far, because the whole point of learning a language is to actually be able to use it. So if you can, then I think that's super great. Believe it or not, there's actually Brazilians that live nearby, and I've gotten to meet some in person and practice a little Portuguese with them. And then yesterday I had a 30-minute, I spoke for 30 minutes in Portuguese on a call with one of my Brazilian friends. And so that was amazing. And yeah, just different things like that. I love that Portuguese has opened me up to a whole new world that I wasn't able to really experience before. And that leads us to my last question, which is, do I regret learning Portuguese? It is a lot, when you're learning multiple languages, it just adds to the load and, divides your time even more. And so that can be hard, but do I regret it? No. It's given me connections and opportunities, and I just love the language, and I'm excited to see where it takes me. I do not regret it at all, and maybe Portuguese isn't the language for you, but I just encourage you to pursue the language you want to. Languages that either will be useful or you'll enjoy in your life, and it'll enrich yourself and the world around you. So go for it, learn a language. If you have any more questions about how I learned Portuguese or anything like that, ask me in the comments or DM me. And if you want me to make a video speaking Portuguese, let me know. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want to learn a language, then you should definitely check out my channel and subscribe. Thank you, and I will see you soon. Ciao!